The AGCO Swather Pack and MacDon Pickup Header Pack for Bcbuhler Farms are coming to Farm Sub 25, and today we're gonna take a look at them. These will be two separate mods, so if you want the Swathing pack, you will have to download that separately. That includes 5 different pieces. You've got the machine itself, plus a mower with a built-in conditioner, which can be removed if you don't want hay. You've got something that'll turn your crops into swath crops. You got a mower and a transport trailer. Additionally, that MacDon pickup header will be separate. However, there's a lot of different customization options for this thing. Oh, and it's so nice to see MacDon for all platforms. In this video, I'll be going over some different use cases like swathing, collecting the swath, mowing and conditioning, only mowing, checking out the transport system, and comparing all of this equipment against the stuff in the MacDon pack. At the time of recording, Bcbuhler Farms is finishing up these packs, and then we'll be submitting them for testing for all platforms. They are available on his itch.io page right now, which I will leave linked down below. So then, let's check them out. There's quite a bit of customization options for all of these things, and the first thing is, which brand do you want to go with? Do you prefer Case? Do you maybe like a Challenger? Maybe a newer, older looking Challenger? Possibly you want to rock with a Heston setup, or Massey Ferguson. There's a couple of those as well. And even the brand new Idea, who are owned by AGCO, and this would be brand new for Farming Simulator. That's pretty cool. I like that. Or you could just simply go with the AGCO Heston setup. Now, with each of these, you've also got horsepower ratings, and depending on which one of these pieces of equipment you go for, you may need a little bit extra power. For example, the lowest horsepower rating, which is 110, may not work exactly the way you expect it to with the swather or the mower. So if you're going to be going with those, maybe something a little bit more. You could still brand it, and if you're on flat ground, I don't think you're going to have any issues. Then you've also got Michelin tires, you got Continental, Midas, and Nokian, as well as those Lizard Grassland Care tires, which are pretty cool. Each of these have a couple different options to go for, so you're able to choose those, and then you can add a GPS on the top, which adds a monitor on the inside. Base specs for the swathing machine, you're going to have 110 horsepower at the very low end, variable transmission, 377 liters of fuel, 18 mile per hour max speed, and it weighs 5.9 tons. You'll also have 190 horsepower on the top end. As for the mower and conditioner, this one can only be changed up with branding, and additionally with branding, the Massey Ferguson Case, those logos will actually not be present on here. You just simply choose the color that you want. So if you got Massey Ferguson, you got that, or Challenger, or Heston. You've also got the new Idea in there, and then you've got the AGCO 2, and then the AGCO 1, which is a dark gray. Very cool. 115 horsepower is required for this one, 4.9 meter working width at 15 miles an hour. Then we get into the swather and mowers, and these are now 2 different pieces of equipment. Beforehand, they were just one. So you could, if you were on a map that didn't support swathing, it still worked for grass. Well, now they are completely different, so make sure that you choose the right one. And here we have the same branding setups as well, so it's going to be change of the colors. However, we do have a decal setup on the side, so the 5200 can be changed up with the colors. 9.2 meter work width at 9 miles per hour and weighs 1.8 tons. Exactly the same setup for the mower, but it mows instead of swaths. Now, I will say this as well. If you have the Swathing Plus mod downloaded, this header right here will be all you need, because this will swath and it will cut grass. But that is a completely separate mod, so you will have to download that, and it's PC only. Lastly, we've got the Swathing as transport trailer, and this is back. You're able to pull up onto it from the left side or the right side, pulling straight forward, and then you attach it like you would a normal piece implement. So like a cultivator, for example, you would click attach. Well, that is exactly how that works right here. It's pretty cool. As far as the MacDon pickup header pack, there's only one model in here, though the customization options, I think, more than make up for that. It's a 4.7 meter working width at 7 miles per hour, so a little bit slower. However, it is nice and wide. We have Case IH in there, New Holland, the John Deere S Series, John Deere T Series, John Deere X9, the EED Kloss, the Kloss yellow version of that, regular Kloss, the Ideal, Massey Ferguson, CNH Shield, MacDon Shield, and Metal Shield. There's a lot of presets in there. A lot of them. You can add that crop catcher on the very top if you would like to. However, you may have noticed that you get more options the further down you go. For example, in John Deere S Series, we get a color option. And if we go in here and change that to yellow, the little stripe above the MacDon logo changes up. So that's kind of neat. And then if we go over to T-Series and the X9, well, those are going to be the same. Then you've got the setups for the Kloss and the Kloss Yellow, which is very cool to see. Then you have the Kloss preset, which is nice here. It is set on the John Deere, but simply go over to Kloss Green. Boom. Now it's ready for that. No rim colors, at least for the version that I am on right now, but that would be nice to see a little bit later on. Same for the Ideal, Massey Ferguson, etc. Then you get into the ones where you can create your own. And the first thing you're going to want to know is, do you want the CNH shield on the side, or the MacDon shield, or the metal shield that you have on your Massey Ferguson? And to be completely honest, it doesn't matter which one of those that you go for. It's just whichever one you like the best. However, I will say, for example, this one, the CNH, only shows up with Case or New Holland. None of the other logos show up on it because they're not CNH. So if you wanted those, we would have to move over to the MacDon shield, so you could show the John Deere there, the MacDon branding itself. We also have a Massey Ferguson on here. The EED Kloss is on there, however, it is in black, so it's hard to see. And then Case IH, of course, and New Holland will not show on this one. Then you can go over here to the metal one, and you can see there's some things that show and some things that do not. For example, Case IH is on there. Yep, you got the 2015. New Holland does show up, but it's in very dark black, so you need to change color. John Deere, MacDon Shield, of course, nothing there because this is not the MacDon Shield version. Massey Ferguson, EED Kloss is not shown, and then back to it. So, there you go. So you are able to kind of choose, hey, which one of these do you want to go with? Some of them have the branding, some don't. Hopefully that made sense to you guys. Then you choose your attacher, and on the attachment, you basically just choose the combine harvester that you're using, whether it be the brand or a specific model. Yes, even Versatile is on there, which is kind of interesting. Nonetheless, plenty of stuff to choose from through there. Crop catcher, you could change that up between a standard or none crop catcher or crop catcher color. So you can change color up. That's kind of neat. And then you've got quite a few different color options to choose from, including rim colors on this one. So you are able to change, boop, that. So if you go with the Kloss, might be a better idea to just change up the branding here so you can change up your rim color. I feel like I over-explained this model, but it is pretty cool. Now, a quick comparison with the stuff that we've already got from the MacDon pack, because this does include, well, pretty much everything that you would get with the MacDon pack. This, for example, is going to be the mod that we just showed off, whereas this is the version that comes with the MacDon pack, which you have to pay for. This is really cool, and I'm going to say this, if you haven't gotten any swathing mods, if you've not downloaded the tractor swathing mod, which is the only one I think that we've got currently, at least when I'm recording this video, this pack, the AGCO Swather Pack, more than makes up for the MacDon costing money if you didn't want to buy it. So, pretty identical setup here when it comes to the pickup headers. However, the new one is a little bit more involved with stuff. Then we get to the machines itself. Now, of course, the MacDon's going to be a little bit bigger. It's got a little bit more horsepower, depending on which version you go for. However, the width and everything is pretty much the same, which is great to see through there. And if we spin them around, you can see we've got a little bit of an older versus a little bit more of a newer setup. Also, the MacDon will extend on the rear end, where this one will not, which you see is where it is at. Then we also get to check out the mowers. So the one on the left-hand side is one for the MacDon. The one on the right-hand side right here is the one that comes with this pack. A little bit different, a little bit less detailing on there. It's not as modern either, so there is that too. Hey, it just is a mower. It's also got a haymaker in there, which turns all the grass you mow into hay. I kind of dig that. Then we get into the swathing heads themselves. Now, of course, the MacDon one's going to be 12.2 meters as opposed to the 9.1, 9.2, 9.2. So it is 3 meters shorter, all things considered. However, the machine itself is also smaller. So that needs to be said. It also doesn't have transport wheels. It has its own transport trailer, whereas this MacDon does have its own transport wheels. I didn't go for them in this version, though. And if you're curious, no, the packs are not interchangeable, so you can't use the MacDon with one header or use the AGCO with the MacDon header. So how does transport work? Well, transport is very, very cool. As you can see, the Swather on the back is just following along wherever we go, and we are using Bcbuhler's CV, the International on the front. I thought it was appropriate for this setup. You are able to run this around. As you can see, we do fit mostly on the road. If we were to encounter let's say, another car on the road, we could pull to the side just ever so slightly and let them around. Driving this around is very, very stable. No issues whatsoever. As you can see, going over bumps there, not a problem. It's really, really good. Using it this way to transport is honestly super easy. I love it. So how's about the Swather on the back? Well, the interesting thing is because it's a connection, you can actually control it. So we are able to turn it on, which is kind of funny. Nonetheless, let's disconnect it. There we go. And you can see at the very bottom, attached to AGCO Swather. So we'll click that button, give it a second. You see kind of it moves ever so slightly when you're connecting and disconnecting. Give it that second. There's a lot of magic and a lot of trickery going on to make it super smooth when you're transporting. So click the button, wait a sec, and then go. Trust me, trust me, trust me. You will be glad that you did. So once we've got it disconnected, we can easily grab it and go. It's real easy. I mean, maybe don't do it the way that I did it. You can actually unfold these, so it does make things a little bit easier. There's also tension straps on there too. You don't need them, but they are there if you wanted them, I guess. So we come around here, pull forward, and we just simply drive right up on it. It can be just because of the way the mod is, and it's a little bit not shallow, steep. There you go. It's a little bit steep. So just give it a second. You may want to give it the beans a bit whenever you're going up there, or you may want to kind of take it easy. Either way, works perfectly fine. And if we swing them around, we can come back on this side as well. Both sides work. Both sides are equal, so it doesn't really matter. There we go. Nice. Turn that off. Jump around over here to our truck. Attach. Nice. Love it. And then we will, boop, turn on the truck. If I can select it, there we go. Because it's connected, you've got 4 different things to choose from through here. So we're good to go. Again, you can strap it down, but you don't have to. I guess if you didn't connect it, you could strap it down. Yeah, that would work, but I do not recommend it. Just works, man. Pretty cool. I love this. So now that you've seen customizations and you've seen how it works, how's about we do this? Let's start swathing, man. Yeah. The swathers are really, really neat because they have working areas. So right now we've got this set up to center. So everything comes out the center. Well, I can click a button, boop. And this over here opens up on the left-hand side, allowing the swath to come out there. We also click it again and kick it out to the right-hand side. Now, this was extremely beneficial in Farm Sim 22 because we were able to combine multiple swaths together and pick them up because the pickup header sometimes wouldn't pick up a full double swath. So you are able to do this now if you wanted to, which I find super cool. Or you could just kick it down the center like everybody else. Come through, rock and roll, and we are getting that swath out the very bottom. And as you can see, here's our ode swath, so it's got all of the stuff in there right through the swath. Super neat, super cool. It does work with the GPS, so if you prefer to use GPS with this, you can do that without any issues whatsoever. Super simple, man. I mean, it's your Swather. I think this is what you guys have been waiting for. I've been seeing in the comments, where's Bcbuhler Swather? Hey, baby, it's here. Yeah. Now, additionally, we've got the mower version of this, too. I'm going to take this. We're actually going to kick the swath out on the right-hand side. So this will work whether you're mowing or whether you're running a swather, but check that out. This was my favorite mower back in Farm Sim 22. If you watched any of my videos, you know I loved this mower because not only was everything kicking out that way, but whenever we were ready and I came back the other way, I would actually overlap. So I'd come to here and I would kick it all back on it and make just a big swath, just like that. Oh, I can't wait to do this again. It's not going to be as GPS friendly. I'm going to have to figure out how to do that, but I'll figure it out. One of the coolest ones may be this piece of equipment, the Swather. So this actually has our haymaker inside. Lower the implement first. All right, so we'll bring this down. There we go. And we will disconnect. And you can see we get that box right there. And that is our haymaker. So if you don't want that, you will have to disconnect it. For example, Here we go. We'll just kind of turn this on, rock forward, and you can see that is grass. But if we back this up and we add our haymaker on here, or conditioner, I call it a haymaker, but it's a swath, or there we go. Reconnected, and we turn this on now, and we'll lower that down, pull forwards. Now we're making hay, and if we go over the grass we've already done, we also get hay, which is great news. How cool is that? It's very cool. You can also raise it or disconnect it, I guess. Not disconnect so much, but you can raise it up, and it will stop working, which is nice. And if we lower it back down, pull forward, all that grass becomes hay. Yes, it works with workers. Yes, works great with GPS if you prefer to use that. Simple to do. You just made hay and you didn't have to do nothing else. How cool is that? Once you've got your swath down, picking up grass is easy. You know how to do that in loading wagon, baler, etc. However, this is our new pickup head right here, the MacDon Swather Pack pickup header. Now I've already come through here with the Massey Ferguson, I believe it is, and we're going to use this. Now I got two different ones running here. I've got the John Deere X9 version. Thought it'd be fun to use, and we've also got a Massey Ferguson. So rock and roll, rock through here. Everything is good. We can enable the straw swath. There we go. Enable that. So now it'll drop down our straw instead. Looking good. Nice. Now this header is 9.2 meters. So if I were to come in here and select 9.2, there we go. Oh, it was on the AI worker. How about we do it on my side? There we go. Now if I select that, I'm able to come through here with the pickup header and pick up the swaths exactly where they laid down. That's awesome. I mean, it works exactly like MacDon Pack does, but this is in a free mod for everybody. And I think one of the ones I'm most excited about, they've also included the version that's kind of old just for this Massey Ferguson. I do think that the logo's a little bit white when compared. Would be nice if it was a little bit gray. And Bcbuhler's actually reached out to everybody and asked about that. But it works with this too, man. Here we go. Straw swath is enabled. No GPS. Just rock and roll. Pulling straight down. And we are swathing with this guy. So if you wanted to start off with an older Massey Ferguson swather and this combine harvester, hey, you can do it. Now there's one thing I am a little bit interested in is the working width of this. It says 4.2, 4.8, something like that. I'm curious just to see how much of it it's actually going to pick up. Hopefully the whole thing. So we'll pull forward here. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I know Farm Sim 22 was a little bit interesting with the working width of the pickup. However, this is great, man. Oh, so excited about this pack. And here the two machines are beside each other. If you just kind of wanted to get an idea of the Massey with the swather beside the Massey Swather. Say swather. Windrow? Is that machine called the Windrow? I don't know. We don't have those in my area. I just love them. And there you go. That is your overview of not only the AGCO Swather Pack, but also the MacDon Pickup Header Pack. They work exactly like the stuff that we've already got. So if you were curious about any different functions, anything like that, of course, the swathing header does have the way where you can kick it center, left, and right. However, everything else works pretty much the same, I guess with the exception of the Mower Conditioner, which I love. Big shout out to Bcbuhler Farms for posting this stuff up on his itch page. This is not a preview or anything like that like a normal one would be. This is a publicly available mod right now, and I just wanted to show it to you guys before it was sent off for testing. If you got any questions about it, let me know. Otherwise, just hope you have an awesome day. We'll catch you in the next one.